Hello, mates! Welcome to Budgie Gaming. I'm your host, Finley. Well, you saw the title, so you know what's about to happen. I'm ranking every single game that was shown and announced at Sony's State of Play event. This video will be split into two parts. The majority of the video will be ranking all 33 games in order from worst to best. Of course, this is my own personal opinion. Just want to clear that up in case anyone thinks I'm presenting this ranking as facts. The second part of the video, while much smaller, will be going over how I felt about this State of Play event overall. If you like the sound of that, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, as I plan on doing these types of videos for every Nintendo Direct and Sony State of Play event. And let me know how you felt about this event, along with what games you're looking most forward to. All right, now onto the rankings. In last place we have Death Stranding for PC. I honestly don't care about this one since I don't play games on the PC and I rather play this on my PS5. That doesn't have anything to do with the game itself, though it actually looks pretty cool. But I still need to play the first one before I jump into this one. In 32nd, we have Marathon. Yeah, I just don't enjoy games like this. Like at all. I tried a little bit of Destiny and didn't care for it. Not saying Marathon is going to be exactly like Destiny, but it's a similar type of game made by the same team, so I'm expecting a lot of overlap, and I just can't get into these types of games, partly because of the massive time sink they become. In 31st, we have Dead or Alive 6. Honestly, I don't like fighting games, and I particularly hate this boob simulator franchise. I'm not exactly sure why I have so much hate for this when I don't really hate on games for being sexual, but something about this franchise rubs me the wrong way. It could be that I just don't like fighting games, so I'm looking for more excuses to hate on it. But yeah, I don't care about this game. In the 30th spot, we have Tekken Dark Resurrection. I'm always a fan of seeing older games being re-released so more people can play it, but at the end of the day, it's a fighting game, so I'm not excited. It will release on PlayStation Plus, so I might give it a shot for an hour just to see how it is, but that'll probably be the extent of me playing it, if I even go that far. In 29th place, we have 4Loop. Literally the only reason this is as high as it is because it has co-op, which could be a decent time. Otherwise, this game looks pretty awful to me. Kind of like a really bland version of Left 4 Dead. And it doesn't help that I'm not a fan of the aesthetic, which also looks bland. In the 28th spot, we have the other PlayStation Plus classic announcement, which is Time Crisis. I honestly don't have much to say about this one other than it doesn't look super great, but I'll give it a shot and see how it is since it'll be on PlayStation Plus. I do think I'll enjoy it more than Tekken, so that's at least something. In the 27th spot, we have the third fighting game of the event, and that is Marvel Token. I know I already shared my dislike for fighting games, but this one looks interesting enough for me to try. I like Spider-Man, I like X-Men, so why not give it a shot? I'm still not expecting to love it, but it could be a decent time. In the 26th spot, we have 007 First Light. Yeah, this is probably a lot lower than most would place it, but ever since this game has been announced, I thought it looked pretty average. To make it worse, this State of Play had a similar game announcement that looks like a far better version of this, and you'll see it much higher on the list. Will I play this? Maybe. But it'll have to be $10 or less for me to try it. At the 25th spot, we have Saros, another game that is probably way higher on most people's list. I just don't like super hard games, which is why this is so low. The art style is pretty awesome, and the gameplay does look fun, but I don't think it's for me. I know in my State of Play predictions video, which I'll have linked down below, I mentioned I have no intention of playing this. Well, I kind of changed my mind. I'll give it a shot, but I'll play it casually, knowing I'm not going to get far. Who knows, maybe the roguelite elements will suck me in. At the 24th spot, we have Brigandine Abyss, so I'm not exactly into these types of strategy RPG games that look super complex. It is a genre I've been wanting to get into, but I don't think this is the game I'll be starting out with. With that said, it looks interesting. Just not exactly for me. At least not until I get more into the genre, then maybe I'll come back to this title. In the 23rd spot, we have Windless. Yeah, I don't know about this game. Part of me was extremely amused, and part of me has this strong feeling that it's just a Dynasty Warriors clone, which we already have tons and tons of. It's awesome seeing a chicken kick some serious ass, but I'm still not fully sold. I am looking forward to seeing more of this game. Hopefully it turns out great, but we'll see. In 22nd spot, we have Ghost of Yoti Legends. Honestly, I'm not super excited for this, but the fact that it's free DLC for a really good game means I'm going to try it regardless. I'm not exactly a huge fan of tacking on multiplayer to single-player games that don't need it to begin with, but like I said, it's free, so I'll give it a shot. and probably have decent fun with it, even if it is only for a few hours. At the 21st spot, we have everything related to the Metal Gear Solid Collection announcement, including the new games and the graphical updates for the original 3 games. Yeah, so I still haven't played any games from the last collection, or really anything from the series. I definitely want to get around to it, but this game would be far from my starting point, so I wasn't super stoked for the announcement right now. But if I enjoy the series, I'm sure I'll be happy to have this to play once I'm ready. And it's always great bringing older games to modern hardware. We're now hitting the top 20. In the 20th spot, we have Pragmata. I'm just going to say it, I'm kind of getting sick of seeing this game everywhere. I know you have to market your games, but holy shit, Capcom has been going a little too hard with the marketing for this and Resident Evil 9. I'm hoping it turns out great, but I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I will say that this trailer did look a bit more interesting than what I've been seeing from earlier trailers. The world looks much larger than I expected, and I love how it looks like it was very active and lived in before everyone disappeared, which isn't the vibes I was getting from the previous trailers I've seen. Either way, hopefully this turns out to be a game I want to play. I still need to try the demo. In the 19th spot, we have Yako Shinobi OP. I'll be completely honest, this game looks pretty rough from a graphical and animation perspective, but the gameplay looks like it could be pretty fun, which is enough for me to get excited about a game. I'm just worried that this game will run as bad as its presentation, which is a bit worrying. In the 18th spot, we have The Big Walk. Honestly, this would probably be higher if I got a better idea on what it was, as it looks interesting and has me intrigued. But it's hard to rank something super high when you don't exactly know what it is. Either way, I can't wait to learn more about this title. In the 17th spot, we have Darwin's Paradox. This looks like some stupid fun, which I'm always up for. It also looks like it'll have some pretty cool stealth and platformer elements, and the fact that it is spoofing Metal Gear Solid just makes it all the more hilarious. I'm looking forward to checking this one out in April. Coming in at 16, we have Crimson Moon. Because if Vigil Games isn't going to make another Darksiders, then why not make it yourself? At least that seems to be the attitude behind this game, because honestly it looks like a straight rip-off of Darksiders. With that said, it looks pretty cool, and at the end of the trailer it seems to give a hint at co-op play, which would be awesome. In the 15th spot, we have Game Freak stepping far away from Pokemon by bringing us Beast of Reincarnation. This game looks pretty cool so far, and honestly, it's cool seeing Game Freak do something besides Pokemon. The only downside is, from my knowledge anyway, is everything Game Freak has done outside of Pokemon hasn't been great, so I'm a little worried about this game for that reason alone. Hopefully it turns out decent. In the 14th spot, we have Legacy of Kain Defiance. I actually haven't played any of the games in this series, but I've recently been getting interested in them since the first 2 games were recently remastered, so it's really cool to see this game joining in on the remaster action. I'm almost positive I'm going to enjoy the first 2, as they look like something I'll enjoy, so I'm excited to see this announcement. In the 13th spot, we have Rev Noir. It's pretty awesome seeing Konami making a game that isn't based on an existing property or character, so that alone has me pretty excited for it. It also helps that the game looks really beautiful, and the story seems interesting from the very little bit we saw. I'm also a fan of RPGs in general, so I'm a bit biased with this game. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I can't wait to learn more about it. In the 12th spot, we have God of War Son of Sparta. I already know people are going to bitch about this being a 2D game, but I think it looks awesome. And to top it all off, it's shadow dropped. As if February wasn't already stacked with enough good-looking games. I actually have a video showcasing 30 awesome-looking games releasing this month if you'd like to go check it out. Either way, I'm so excited to play this, and I think it's cool they're doing something different with the franchise. I'm hoping I'm not too lost when it comes to the story on this one, as I've only played one God of War game, and it wasn't even a recent title. In the 11th spot, we have Control Resonant. Honestly, I was hoping Remedy would show off the Max Payne remakes instead, but I'm still happy about Control. I absolutely loved the first Alan Wake, and I still haven't finished Alan Wake 2, which is odd considering how much I loved that game. But basically what I'm saying is, I love Remedy games, so I'm sure I'll love this one as well. I really need to get around to playing the first Control game as well. Now we're getting in the top 10. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe, as it's a huge help for small channels like mine. At number 10, we have John Wick. Remember when I mentioned a similar looking game putting 007 to shame? Well, this was that game. This looks so good, like the Splinter Cell Conviction sequel we never got. I have never even seen a John Wick movie, but I'm still extremely excited for this game, because it looks awesome. At number 9, we have Resident Evil 9. If you watched my video where I ranked all 38 games from the recent Nintendo Direct, you'll notice this is much higher on this list. And if you're wondering why, it's because it's not a game key card here. Honestly, as far as game hype, this might be number 1 for the entire list. But we've just seen so much of this game already, and the excitement is starting to wear off. At the 8th spot, we have the God of War Trilogy Remake. I'm super excited for this, as I've never played the original games. Oddly enough, Saga is the only God of War game I've played. I actually just bought the trilogy for the PS3, so I'm a little pissed about that. But I'm still excited about these 3 games getting a remake. And remember, a remake is basically rebuilding the game, not just upscaling graphics. So that's super exciting. The only reason it's not higher is because we saw nothing for the games. I will say the voice actor has some amazing charisma though. Coming in at number 7, we have Rayman's 30th anniversary. This is pretty exciting. I was hoping we would see some platformers like Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper, which I'm still wanting to see announced this year, but I'll take this for now. Hopefully this game does well and makes Sony realize they need to get back in the platforming game, which they should have already known based on Astrobot, but apparently they don't. Coming in at number 6, we have Mina the Hollower. I'm so excited that this is finally getting a release date. I remember back when I made my games releasing in October video and I talked about this game, as it was supposed to release last Halloween, and I was excited for it back then. Luckily, my excitement hasn't waned in the slightest, and to top it all off, we're getting a demo, so I'll be checking that out once it's released. Alright, now we're cracking into the top 5. At the number 5 spot, we have Silent Hill Town Fall. This game looks pretty awesome and spooky, which is exactly what you want from a Silent Hill game. I'm absolutely loving the coastal town vibe. I'm not exactly sure where this game takes place, but the little red, white and blue flags along with being a coastal town made me think of somewhere in France. I could also see it being a New England town as well. Either way, this game has me hyped and I can't believe it's coming out this year. 3 years in a row with a Silent Hill game is wild, considering we went so long without any. I might avoid everything about this game going forward as I want to be surprised about everything. In the 4th spot, we have Neva Prologue. This looks fantastic, just like the original game. I'm not exactly sure if this is DLC or a standalone title, but either way, it looks fantastic. It seems as though this is going to be more challenging than the main game, so that's cool to hear, as it's not exactly a very hard game to begin with. Either way, I can't wait to play this once it's released. Luckily, we don't have to wait long as it releases February 19th. In the 3rd spot, we have Star Wars Galactic Racers. As someone who isn't even a Star Wars fan, this shit looks awesome. It's great seeing what basically looks like a modern F-Zero game with a high budget. Honestly, if Nintendo can't get off their arse and make a new F-Zero game, I'm glad other games such as Fast Fusion and Star Wars Racer are filling the void. Maybe one day Nintendo will realize there is a market for these types of games. Coming in at number 2, we have Castlevania Belmont's Curse. I don't even remember the last time we got a brand new Castlevania game. I'm so excited to see that Konami hasn't forgotten this series aside from a bunch of re-releases, which isn't a bad thing because they've been releasing some awesome classics. But after a while, you just want a new game in the series. And now we're finally getting it. I'm really liking the art style for this game, and it's looking like the amazing classic Castlevania gameplay that fans all know and love. And at the number 1 spot, which is probably not number 1 for anyone else, we have Kina Scars of Cosmora. Damn, did this state of play start off with a bang or what? This game looks fantastic. I know, kinda weird for someone who hasn't played the first, but I need to fix that ASAP, because I absolutely need to play this game right away. I remember people saying that South of Midnight suffered from the exact same issues as the first Kenner game, and you know what? That's a compliment in my eyes, as South of Midnight was one of my favorite games, if not favorite game of 2025. Needless to say, as this is my number 1 game for the event, but I really cannot wait to play this game. Absolutely, day 1 purchase for me. Alright now, so what did I think of the entire State of Play event? Well, I thought it was pretty good. As expected, there were some games I didn't care about, and a few games that I'm really excited about. While it's hard for me to say which I thought was better between the Nintendo Direct and the State of Play this month, as they both had some major highs and major lows, I will say that overall, I enjoy Nintendo Directs more than State of Play events. Nintendo is more streamlined and to the point, whereas Sony has way too much talking that I don't exactly care about. I know this is going to sound rude, but I also appreciate how Nintendo has a translator, as it's impossible to read the screen when you're trying to listen to the video while working. The Nintendo Direct was about 30 minutes shorter than the State of Play, Yet it showed off 5 more games, which shows how much more streamlined Nintendo Directs are. But yeah, overall, I was happy with this event. Especially being an event in February, as we all know the summer events are, where everyone announces all the crazy shit. So how did you feel about this state of play? Did you enjoy it? Did it bore you out of your mind? Let me know down in the comments down below. Until next time, take care, mates.